Welcome to 442 Media Weekly News segment. I am your host Beza. In our first news, Somalia asks African Union peacekeepers to a slow withdrawal, fearing Islamist resurgence. According to a report by Reuters, Somalia's government is seeking to slow the withdrawal of African peacekeepers and warning of a potential security vacuum and the resurgence of Al-Shabab militants. The European Union and United States, the top funders of the African Union force in Somalia, have sought to reduce the peacekeeping operation due to concerns about long-term financing and sustainability. Neighboring countries are monitoring the situation in Somalia closely. Kenyan President William Ruto told reporters in Washington last month that a withdrawal that did not account for conditions on the ground would mean the terrorists will take over Somalia. In our next news, legendary Ethiopian jazz musician Mulatu Astatke is set to perform in the Washington D.C. area late this month. Our trusted entertainment reporter Temrat has more details on this exciting news.
Legendary Ethiopian jazz musician Mulatu Astatke is bringing his work to the DMV on June the 23rd and 24th. Mulatu is Ethiopian musician and arranger considered as the father of Ethio Jazz. Born in Jimma, Mulatu was musically trained in London, New York City, and Boston, where he combined his jazz and Latin music interests with traditional Ethiopian music. Mulatu led his band while playing vibraphone and conga drums, instruments that he introduced into Ethiopian popular music, as well as other percussion instruments, keyboards, and organs. Mulatu is set to bring his long-awaited music to fans in the Washington area in late June at the Howard Theatre. Tickets to the Sunday, June 23rd shows are sold out. The price of the tickets are $35. Do not miss this show. Back to you, Beza.
Now to our headline story tonight. A searing critique penned by Tom Gardner for The Guardian delves into the misunderstood leadership of Ethiopia's Prime Minister, Abiy Ahmed Ali. Gardner's article paints a picture of initial hope and optimism surrounding Abiy's ascension to power, both within Ethiopia and globally. However, it portrays Abiy as an enigmatic figure, leaving many questioning his true intentions and desires. Gardner argues that Abiy Ahmed Ali set out to redefine Ethiopia's turbulent history, with a bold vision of unity and renewal. Yet, rather than achieving this lofty goal, he appears to have exacerbated the country's underlying societal divisions, leading to widespread human rights abuse, civil war, and possible disintegration. Under Abiy's unconventional and personalized leadership style, Ethiopia's deep-rooted structural issues have been pushed to the brink, threatening to plunge the nation into chaos. Tom Gardner moved to Addis Ababa in 2016 as The Economist's Horn of Africa correspondent. He covered Ethiopia during its most tumultuous years and decades, traveling to all corners of the country before his expulsion by the Abiy Ahmed government at the height of the Tigray War in 2022. Since 2024, he has been The Economist's Africa correspondent based in Nairobi. His recent article on The Guardian is getting worldwide attention.
UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Volker Turk today called for concrete measures to halt the human rights violations and abuses that continue to endanger reconciliation and peace in Ethiopia. The High Commissioner's call came as the UN Human Rights Office issued an update analyzing the human rights situation across Ethiopia from January 2023 to January 2024. Violent conflicts, particularly in the Amhara and Oromia regions, led to serious human rights violations and abuses in 2023, the update says. In 2023, at least 1,351 civilians were killed in Ethiopia in attacks reportedly carried out by government forces, Eritrean troops, anti-government militias, and some unknown actors. Of the civilians killed, 740 were in Amhara. The use of unmanned aerial vehicles by government forces resulted in 248 civilian deaths between August 4 and December 31, 2023, and destroyed vital infrastructure, including schools and hospitals, raising concerns about the extent of compliance of these strikes with international law. The update also details an attack on January 29, 2024, in which at least 89 civilians were killed, reportedly by government troops, in Meroe town near Bahir Dar, the regional capital of Amhara. Overall, the update records 594 incidents of human rights violations and abuses affecting 8,253 victims, a 56% increase compared with 2022. According to the update, state actors were reportedly responsible for some 70% of the violations, while non-state actors accounted for some 22%. Back to you, Sayat.
Extreme heat in the Middle East, Mediterranean, and Northern and Eastern Africa linked to climate change. Forecasts indicate that much of Northern and Eastern Africa, the Mediterranean, and the Middle East will experience a period of unusually hot conditions this month. During this period, over 290 million people will experience extreme heat, made at least 5 times more likely because of human-caused climate change. Many cities will experience extended periods of extreme heat. Average temperature anomalies ranging between 2 degrees Celsius and 8 degrees Celsius above normal are expected across much of the region. Exposure to excessive heat increases the risk of heat-related illnesses such as exhaustion and stroke, and may aggravate underlying conditions such as diabetes, cardiovascular disease, asthma, and many others. Health experts recommend increasing your water intake beyond your usual amount and avoiding waiting until you feel thirsty to do so. It's crucial to recognize the signs of heat-related health problems. Muscle cramps can indicate early stages of heat illness. Additionally, wear loose, lightweight, light-colored clothing and apply sunscreen regularly to protect yourself from the sun's rays. Stay safe and cool.